Morning students. In the previous class, we have introduced the concept of resistance, factor affecting resistance, current density and different other concepts. Today, we will continue with the new concepts. As we have introduced Ohm's law, now here we will discuss Ohm's law in vector form. For that, we know the relation that the potential difference applied across the ends of conductor, it will produce certain electric field. Now, as we know from Ohm's law that V is equal to IR and resistance as per the expression it is rho L upon A. So now from this we can get that V is equal to E into L. So substitute this V here, you are getting EL equal to I rho L upon A. From this electric field, as L will be cancelled out, it will come out to be I rho upon A. Now you can relate this I upon A, current per unit area, it is current density. So E is equal to current density into specific resistance. Now this is one form in terms of current density and specific resistance or resistivity. Now if you will take, as you know that resistivity is reciprocal of conductivity. So E is equal to J into 1 by sigma. So this implies that J is equal to sigma into E. So this is basically the mathematical relationship. Since this current density expressed in this term, this is also in vector form given by this form. So this is, you can say, this is the vector form of Ohm's law, or in simple terms you can say from the Ohm's law you have related this current density with electric field and conductivity. This will be utilized in many concepts used here. Now next we will discuss relationship between conductivity and mobility. As we know that current density is sigma into E. So current density is current per unit area and this conductivity is related to resistivity as reciprocal. So now from here as current I, it was given by ANEVD. We have derived this relation. We have substituted the value of current here. So here you are getting NEVD equal to E upon rho. Now we also know that mobility is given by drift velocity per unit electric field. So drift velocity can be taken as mobility into electric field. Put this value in equation 1. So when you will put drift velocity in equation 1, E upon rho, it will be NE mu into E. Now comparing these two equations on left side and right hand side, this electric field, this is common, it will cancel out. So what we are left? This is 1 by rho, that is equal to conductivity. It is NE mu. So conductivity is given by NE mu and resistivity is given by 1 by NE mu. So this is also one relation between conductivity and mobility or resistivity and mobility. So on the basis of conductivity and resistivity, we can classify the material as conductor, insulators and semiconductors. So conductors are the materials which conduct electricity. That means the material through which electric charge can flow easily. Means they have low resistivity. So it means high conductivity. So low resistivity in that case may range from 10 raised to the power minus 8 to 10 raised to the power minus 6 ohm meter. This is for the case of conductors. Now as insulator, these are the materials which are bad conductor of electricity where valence electrons are not present, so free charge carriers are not existing. It means these having high resistivity. So it means if these are having high resistivity means low conductivity. So that value it will range from 10 raised to the power 4 ohm meter. That means it is greater than this. So such a large high, this is high resistivity will be there. Semiconductors. Semiconductors are the materials whose conductivity lie between conductors and insulators. Same is applied for resistivity also. So here resistivity is moderate. So it is 10 raised to the power minus 6 ohm meter to 10 raised to the power 4 ohm meter. So on the basis of conductivity and resistivity, we can classify the material as conductors, insulators and semiconductors. Now, after this, we have to discuss temperature dependence of resistivity or resistance. Here we will use one result directly as resistance of a metal at particular temperature T. That has to be related with the resistance of the particular metal at 0 degrees Celsius, and you have to learn this result directly. So, as rise of the resistance corresponding to temperature T. We are taking that initial temperature at 0 degrees Celsius is R0 and initial temperature is 0. So now when at particular temperature resistance will be rising, as we know that with the rise of temperature resistance increases. So this change of resistance that will be proportional to original resistance as well as proportional to rise of temperature. So due to it, when we are combining it, then we are getting that RT equal to R0 into 1 plus alpha T. Or you can take it as RT equal to R0 plus alpha T R0. That means this rise of temperature, resistance, increase of resistance, this is equal to alpha T R0. Actually, I have taken this change of resistance, this increase of resistance is proportional to original resistance as well as temperature. Actually, this is a particular concept, on the basis of that we give it. Although there are some another terms in this addition, plus beta T square also in addition to 1 plus alpha T, but we have ignored those values. We have taken only this as a result. So now this is taken, so alpha. This alpha is taken as RT minus R0 divided by R0 into T. This is a result which you have to learn because this can be used in solving numerical also. And this alpha is taken as temperature coefficient of resistance. Why we have taken it for resistance? Because it is expressed in terms of resistance. So alpha is temperature coefficient of resistance. Now from this step we can define it. See here, for the definition you have not to learn something different, but you have to just remember this result. So here also you can make a list of formula on a separate sheet. Now temperature coefficient of resistance is defined as increase in resistance per unit original resistance per degree Celsius rise of temperature. Increase in resistance per unit original resistance per unit rise of temperature. Now, so after defining this alpha, this temperature coefficient is positive for conductors, for metals. This is a point which you have to learn. Whereas for insulators, or you can take it semiconductors. For insulators and semiconductors, this temperature coefficient is, this is not positive, this is negative. You have to learn it. So it means for the case of conductors, with the rise of temperature, resistance increase, whereas for insulators or semiconductors, with the rise of temperature, as temperature increases, then you can say resistance will decrease. There is inverse relation in case of insulator and semiconductor. This can be the question in conceptual problems. Now we will explain it also why there is a difference. So here we have introduced the temperature coefficient of resistance. But if we have to introduce temperature coefficient of resistivity, see, actually resistance R is equal to rho L upon A. So resistance is depending upon nature of material, that is determined by resistivity. So here we can simply learn or replace resistance in this relation by resistivity symbol, keeping all the other factors same. Why? Because if a particular wire has been heated, or there is a rise of temperature, or there is a change in resistance, the other parameters will not change. So correspondingly, like length and area will not change, so it will be rho minus rho naught upon rho naught into T. So temperature coefficient of resistivity can also be defined as increase of resistivity per unit original resistivity per degree Celsius rise of temperature. So for both these expression you have to learn the basic concept. Now after introduction of temperature coefficient of resistance, now here I will discuss one conceptual problem that we have studied, that alloys like manganene, Eureka, Constantan, many different alloys can be there, used for different purpose. Now the question is why these are used for making standard resistance coil. See, in the resistance box, when you will go in the lab, then you will find resistance box. It is an arrangement. Over that plugs have been used that all are connected in series, that may vary from like 1 ohm, 2 ohm to 10,000 ohm or more than that also. Even infinite plug is also there. Basically the resistance which are made up in the resistance coils, that are made up of basically this alloy. So what is the reason why these materials are preferred? Actually, now this is very important conceptual question, this can be asked. These alloys, what is the property which make it suitable for making standard resistance? As alloys, these have high resistivity. Resistivity is very high, and temperature coefficient of resistance is very small. These are the 2 points which has to be kept very carefully in mind, that resistivity should be high and temperature coefficient should be small. Another point, that resistance is least affected by the atmospheric condition. That means for these materials, the resistance of these materials will not be affected by the external changing weather condition like air, moisture, etc. So that's why these alloys are suitable for making the standard resistance coil. Main 2 points should be high resistivity and low temperature coefficient of resistivity or resistance. So now when we will plot resistivity with the temperature, so first of all we will plot it for copper. As we are plotting it for copper, the graph is some like this. Now starting from the origin, this is like this. With the rise of temperature, resistivity increase. Basically many a times such kind of curves can be asked to draw, so you have to just practice it. Another, when you have to plot resistivity with temperature for the case of nichrome, this follow this particular. This will be a straight line, but at temperature 0 degree it is having certain resistivity. Similarly, another case I will plot, that is resistivity with temperature for manganene. As manganene is least affected by the temperature, negligible effect, that with the rise of temperature, resistivity remain to be same for the manganene. So these 3 plots you have to learn these, how to draw it. These are conveying the concepts. Here this is variation is like this. This is for metal, copper you are taking, or aluminium you can take, and this is for nichrome, this is for manganene. Such kind of graphs can be asked in 1 mark. Now as we have discussed basically the concept of conductivity and resistivity, and I have also introduced that when resistivity has been plotted for conductors, then if you have to plot conductivity, then it will decrease. Resistivity increase, so conductivity if you will plot, I think I have covered it in the previous lecture. So when the rise of temperature, if you will take that, the conductivity will decrease. Now next we are taking the case of semiconductors and insulators. Actually these are all small topics which are the result form we have to learn. Now we have taken, when we were discussing about the effect of temperature, that for the conductors with the rise of temperature, resistivity increases. But this is reverse in the case of semiconductors and insulators, as actually we know that resistivity, this is given by m e square 2. Now, with the rise of temperature, if the temperature increases, what happen in case of semiconductor? Basically, this number density of electrons that increases. See, this increases, and corresponding to it, this relaxation time decreases. How this happen? Actually, when there is a increase of temperature within the structure of semiconductors, what happen? Number of electrons, they will gain energy, and correspondingly more number of covalent bond get break up. So more charge carriers become free. That's why we are saying the number density of electrons increases. Now when this is increasing due to the thermal motion, you can say the relaxation time will decrease. So what happened? Basically, now what will happen? This is decreasing and this is increasing. Both are coming in the denominator. But so you should think that there should be no effect on the resistivity. But actually what happened, where there is a increase in n, number density of electrons, this is more as compared to the decrease of relaxation time. So what happens, that increase in n compensate more than the decrease in relaxation time. So its effect, this n factor dominate, increase in n will be more as compared to decrease of relaxation time, because very large number of free charge carriers will be available. Number density of electrons will increase. So due to which you can say n has a dominating effect, and increases, and resistivity will decrease. So that's why we are taking. This is a reason we have to understand. Although you are doing it here in this unit, as well as you will do it in the last unit also. I am repeating, with the rise of temperature, what happened? Number density of electrons increases. Why? Because covalent bond break up and more number of charge carriers become free. That leads to decrease of relaxation time. But in the denominator factor, we see that the number is in the denominator and relaxation time is also in the denominator. But what happened? Number of electrons that get free within a particular volume regions, that is more as compared to the relaxation time. So its effect is dominating, due to which as n is more rising, and hence resistivity will decrease. So if we will plot graph between resistivity with temperature, this will follow this curve. Now, if we plot graph between conductivity and temperature for semiconductors, then what happens? As with the rise of temperature, more number of charge carriers become free. So more number of electrons are available for conduction. So with the rise of temperature, conductivity will increase. So you have to plot conductivity with temperature. This will be the curve. For resistivity, this will be the plot. Now, if we have to discuss it for electrolyte, basically in electrolyte, temperature coefficient, that is negative. Actually what happened? With the rise of temperature, resistivity of electrolyte decreases. What happened? That when the electrolyte is heated, that inter-ion attraction force decreases. When this force decreases, so correspondingly ions become free for the motion and they can move easily. It means conductivity increases. So I am repeating, when the temperature increases, so the ions become free. Their force of attraction of ions will decrease, and hence their conductivity increases. So when conductivity increases, resistivity decreases. So resistivity will be decreasing with the rise of temperature of electrolytes. So this is all for today. I am taking a short video giving a small topic today. As what we have covered one form of Ohm's law giving relation between conductivity and this current density, another relation between conductivity and mobility. Then after that we have introduced the concept of temperature, coefficient of resistance and resistivity, categorizing conductors, insulators and semiconductors in terms of resistivity and conductivity. Then after this we have done a very important job, that to draw the graphical representations of the various parameters is very important. This can be asked in 1 mark question, so you have to draw it very carefully. So this is all for today. Just practice all this work and just keep revising the concepts, be updated about all the things. Thank you. Have a nice day.